Hey, Jody Holland here for the Psyche of Success video blog. Today we're going to be talking about management versus leadership. The difference between how you get people to do what they're supposed to do and you get people to want to do what they're supposed to do. Make sure and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also check me out on Twitter at Jody N. Holland and find me on Facebook. Look for Jody Holland Training and Speaking. So as we talk about management versus leadership, Lawrence J. Peter in 1969, he said that we systematically promote people to one level above what they've been trained how to do. The big frustration that we have in business is that we're taking these people that are really good at X and we're saying, because you are good at that, we're going to put you in charge of people who do that. In my book, Yay, I'm a Supervisor, Oh Man, I'm a Supervisor, one of the things that I talk about is the story of Davidson Ford. Now you look at this guy who is the greatest salesperson there. He outsold people 5 to 1 in the number of cars that he pushed out. Now, that's a really good salesperson. Having looked at Texas Auto Dealers Association and a few other statistics out there, one of the things that I found is that a top performing salesperson in the auto industry, they're selling between 10 and 15 cars a month. This guy was selling more like 40 plus cars per month. So naturally, Mr. Davidson was looking at him and going, this guy's really good. I want to put him in charge of all the salespeople, because if he can sell, obviously he can manage people who sell. Well, as the story goes, he gets his promotion and he's horrible at managing. He was never trained how to manage, never taught how to lead. He was just put in charge. As a result, within about 4 months, sales started going down. They had gotten rid of their top performing salesperson by putting him in charge, and he had started making other people mad because he didn't know how to manage or lead. He just knew he was good at sales, but didn't know exactly why. Our ego gets in the way at times, and he couldn't take a demotion back to a regular salesperson, so instead what he did is he quit. He ended up leaving, and Davidson's like, man, he ended up being such a failure. I was so wrong about his potential. He went to a competitive dealership, became their top performing salesperson, and stayed in that role. You see, we're not always supposed to be moved up, but if we are going to move up, the best thing that can happen is we know what we're doing before we get into that position. So when you think about the difference between managing people and leading people, the variations are management is about getting people to do what they're supposed to do. It's accomplishing work through other people. It's a push. Leadership is about the pull. It's about creating a vision and getting people to want to do those things. You actually need to be good at both of those things. You got to be good at pushing and at pulling in a leadership and management role. Abraham Maslow said, if the only tool you have in your toolbox is a hammer, then all of your problems will be nails. Thus the reason so many people, when they're put in charge, just hit people over the head trying to get them to do what they're supposed to do. Being a top performer at a task and being a great leader over other top performers, not the same thing. Your job is basically about 6 things. Number 1, you have to accomplish great things through other people. Not for them, but through them. Number 2, you have to see the full potential of each of the individuals that works for you. You've got to be able to peer into their psyche and understand what you can do to unlock their potential and make them a top performer working for you. Number 3, you've got to set very clear expectations and accountabilities. As a manager, your job is to make sure that people know exactly what they're supposed to do, when they're supposed to do it, how you're going to measure it, and why we're doing it or why it's so important. Next, you push people to perform. Next, you pull them towards a vision of 1 year out, 3 years out, 5 years out. Your strategic planning is more about strategic thinking than it is about planning. And then finally, you have got to grow yourself continuously. If you're not continuously investing in you and your potential, as well as the potential of your team, you don't have any place to take them. The law of the lid, as described by John Maxwell, is that as far as we have developed ourselves, we can take people to one level below that. If you want people to be top performers, you've got to keep raising your capacity so that you keep raising that lid to a little bit higher. You see, when we look at who we are and what we're supposed to be doing in business, we operate within kind of a loop. The way that our mind works, if you look at the conscious versus the subconscious mind, the conscious mind's pretty powerful. You can process 2,000 bits per second of information. That's a lot. We sort, we filter, we delete, we distort, we make things make sense based on what we believe. Those beliefs are housed in the subconscious. Subconscious makes the conscious mind look like it is just playing Little League. The subconscious mind processes 400 billion bits per second of information. That's a lot. The difference would be if each bit was a drop of water, in 60 seconds you can fill a bottle about like this with the conscious mind, or you can fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool with the subconscious mind. It's a pretty big variation. What we're trying to do is stay within the right belief models. Now, think about the way that you look at your employees. If you look at a person and you go, well, all employees are lazy, pointless, worthless, whiny little individuals. If that's what you're doing, guess what? I promise you they will not let you down. They will always fulfill your expectation of being lazy, whiny, pointless little individuals. Your belief about them sets within your subconscious mind what you're going to look for in the conscious mind. All possibilities exist. It just depends on what you're looking for. To be a great manager, to be a great leader, you've got to set in that subconscious belief system what you're going to think about. The belief loop starts with beliefs, it creates thoughts, it creates actions, and then it creates results. So often, all we want to do is focus just on the result piece of things and go, we've got to change that result. Well, think of it as a tree. If you have an apple tree and you go pick all the apples off the tree and you staple oranges on there, the results, the fruit, is what you're trying to change. Now, if you're focused on just the fruit and you go pick the apples off and staple oranges on, all you are is a weirdo. That is not going to change the tree itself. All you're changing is that fruit. And eventually, those oranges die. They're not going to live. The same thing is true of your employees. If you go in and just harp on results, but never deal with what's actually creating the thoughts and the behaviors, guess what? You're not changing anything. As a manager and as a leader, your focus is on setting the right belief loop. What I believe creates what I think, which is what creates how I behave or treat my people, which creates the results that I'm getting from them. When you look at what they're doing in business, their belief creates their thought, creates their action, creates their result. Our job as a manager, our job as a leader, is to understand how to program the right belief systems into our people's minds so that they will naturally think the right thoughts, do the right things, and get the right results. Within that tree, the roots are the beliefs. Until I change the root of the tree, I've not changed the tree. I can change the branches, I can change the trunk, it's still going to grow back as an apple tree, never an orange tree until I give it orange tree roots. With your people, you're trying to set the right psyche of success in their minds. So a little challenge I've got for you on this vlog is I want you to write down what are 5 limiting beliefs that you have about your employees. Take a few minutes and just write down, what are things that I naturally think or believe about my employees that is keeping me from seeing their potential? Now, what I want you to do is go back and write down 5 empowering beliefs that you could choose if you wanted to. So the big question that I ask people that are dealing with struggles or trying to overcome challenges is, what would you have to believe in order to, and then you fill in the blank, whatever you're trying to accomplish. Let's say that you're upset and you're having a bad day. What would I have to believe in order to have a good day? Well, I'd have to believe that the world likes me and the world wants the very best for me. Second question, if you wanted to, could you believe that? Okay, if you answered yes on that. Third question, will you choose it? Those are the 3 simple questions that you use in order to start controlling your beliefs. If I wanted to see the very best in my people, could I? Yeah. What would I have to believe about them? So you outline your empowering beliefs and you move yourself in that right direction. Today we are talking about management versus leadership. I'm going to wrap it up with this. Peter Drucker was the first management theorist that said being a manager and being a leader are not the same skill sets. What you've got to do is understand how to define the difference within your own mind. If you'll start looking at, okay, to be a great manager, these are the specific skills I've got to have. And then to be a great leader, I've got to add these skills on top of it. What you realize is you've got to start with being a great manager. If you're going to map out both of those, learning the skills to get people to do the job, that's number one. Getting them to want to do the job and be inspired every day is actually number two. I want inspired people, I want excited people, but I also want to get the job done. Got a book study going on Yay, I'm a Supervisor. You can find the book on Amazon. If you just go to amazon.com/author/Jody Holland, you'll be able to find my page, or just go to Amazon and look for Jody Holland. You'll have a number of books that come up. By the way, there's a couple of other Jody Hollands out there, so look for this cover. Within the book, if you will go through these little videos with your staff, and then you'll go back to jodyholland.com/yaysupervisor.html, you'll see the discussion questions that you can use with your team. Takes you through each chapter, makes it really easy. Make sure you also subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as going out and following me on Twitter. Look for @JodyNHolland, and then go to Facebook and look for Jody Holland Training and Speaking. I'm Jody Holland with the Psyche of Success. I can't wait to see you next time.